This is a video on the Deontay Wilder versus Alexander Povetkin fight for the WBC belt, which will take place next May. Now, Deontay Wilder has been doing very well recently. He's fought Stervin, wasn't even a year ago now, for the WBC belt. He completely outclassed him. He won all but one round. Yes, he didn't stop Stervin, and yes, Stervin had been stopped before. But when Stervin was stopped before, he was a smaller, he was a less experienced boxer. Since he wasn't as massive, he couldn't take his punches as well. So it doesn't say anything about Deontay Wilder's punching power. It says more about how much Stervin has improved since then, how much more massive and how better he can take punches now. A lot of people say Deontay Wilder has only fought one top 10 opponent. And that was true until just a couple of weeks ago, where Alex Scott has now been upgraded into the top 10. He's number 7 in the world now. So Deontay Wilder has fought and beat two people in the top 10. Stervin by decision, dominated him. Alex Scott knocked him out in one round, dominated him. So Deontay Wilder is actually quite proven now, and he's got the WBC belt. Alexander Povetkin, everybody knows he's very well proven right now. He was number 2 in the world until Tyson Fury just beat Vladimir Klitschko there. He's fought a lot of good fighters during his career. Just for his 14th fight of his professional career, he fought Chris Bird and knocked him out in the 11th round. Eddie Chambers he fought after that. Only lost 2 rounds to Eddie Chambers. Beat Eddie Chambers by decision. That was when Eddie Chambers was undefeated. He's a really fast heavyweight. He's fought Manuel Char, Chagev, he's a good Cuban boxer. He just beat recently, and I forgot his name. But he's beat a lot of top heavyweights. And he's been in there with Vladimir Klitschko, and he's gained that experience as well. Yes, he lost to Vladimir Klitschko, but he gained a lot of experience against him. Now, you should probably look at both their strengths and weaknesses. Deontay Wilder has obviously got a very hard punch. He's got a 97% KO rate after 35 fights. So that's really impressive. I mean, it could be after his career's finished. I mean, right now he's got the potential to maybe be best known as the biggest power puncher in heavyweight history. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out after his career's ended in about another 10 years. But he has that potential right now. He's fast. He's got an extremely quick, hard, fast jab, and that's at the end of this massive 83-inch wingspan he's got right now. So he's got quite a big advantage when it comes to fighting Alexander Povetkin, because Alexander Povetkin's far shorter wingspan than Deontay Wilder. He's only got an 85-inch reach advantage. 85-inch reach, and he's only 6'2". So Deontay Wilder's going to be towering over him. That's 6'7" with his massive 83-inch reach. And just like I say, he's got a fast jab. Deontay Wilder's actually got quite good footwork these days as well. He can move away quite well. And he's got the fitness to stay away from Alexander Povetkin for 12 rounds. People say he's not that skilled. He's not got the best skill. He leaves himself open with these wild swinging punches. Okay, maybe he does sometimes get a bit carried away, but it's usually when he's actually trying to finish off an opponent. He's not firing anything back. A lot of people say Deontay Wilder has not got very good defense. Look at the Eric Molina fight. I think it was in the 2nd or 3rd round. He was getting caught by a lot of really hard punches and got himself in quite a lot of trouble in that fight. But he's still WBC champion. He's still undefeated, so he can't be that poorly skilled, can he? He's clearly got enough skill to be in the top 10. He's clearly got good enough defense not to get knocked out. A lot of people doubt Deontay Wilder's chin, but he's never been knocked down yet. He's obviously never been KO'd because he's never lost a fight. Maybe they point to the amateur records, but he's got so much bigger since his amateur days. I mean, with Deontay Wilder's first fight, he only weighed 207 pounds, and now he's 228 pounds. Then that gives you more resistance to punches. So I would say, yeah, Deontay Wilder probably does have some weaknesses. If Alexander Povetkin gets past his jab, corners him, gets him against the ropes, Alexander Povetkin has superior inside fighting, and he's got them shorter arms, and it gives him the advantage. And he's got enough power. Alexander Povetkin's a power puncher himself, so he can do a lot of damage, and potentially he could knock out Deontay Wilder. So they're both very different kinds of fighters. Alexander Povetkin's a very smaller guy. He's tiny these days compared to the big modern heavyweights we have, like Deontay Wilder. But he's very successful. Even in amateurs, Alexander Povetkin had 125 wins, 7 losses. He competed in the European Championships twice, gold medal twice. Olympics, competed in that once, got a gold medal once. World Championships as an amateur, gold medal in that. Every single major competition Povetkin's been in, he's got a gold medal. And it was one year right after the other, and then he became professional. And just like I say, he wasn't a very protected fighter either. They threw him in there with Chris Bird, they threw him in there with Eddie Chambers for his 14th and 15th fight, and he beat them decisively. A lot of people say that Alexander Povetkin has a lot of trouble with tall fighters just because Vladimir Klitschko completely outboxed him. I mean, Vladimir Klitschko beat him every round, knocked him down 4 times. But that's Vladimir Klitschko. Deontay Wilder's not going to fight him the same way as Vladimir Klitschko. If you just look at Deontay Wilder's last few fights, if he was practicing for fighting that way, you'd think he'd be trying to tie people up as soon as they got in close to practice for Povetkin, but he's not doing that. Deontay Wilder's going to fight on the outside when he's against Alexander Povetkin. From what I can see, that's the way he's going to do it. So Alexander Povetkin has performed against 2 other really tall heavyweights. Nikola Furfa was 6'6". Yeah, he was top 50, top 40 heavyweight at the very best. Not got the best record now. I think he's got quite a few losses on his record. But Alexander Povetkin, I think, only lost 1 round against Nikola Furfa. And his last fight, he just fought whack there to practice for Deontay Wilder. A lot of people thought he had trouble against whack, but he only lost 1 round against whack. Deontay Wilder fought Duhapa and Eric Molina and Bermin Sturvin there, and he lost a round to every single one of them. So losing 1 round to whack is not a big deal. It does not prove anything. Yes, I mean, he's got to try and get in within that massive reach that Wack had, of course, because he's a lot shorter boxer. So it does look like he's going to have a little bit of problems, but that's normal. He's a small heavyweight. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to lose to Deontay Wilder. Now, is Deontay Wilder going to knock out Alexander Povetkin? I very much doubt it. Alexander Povetkin has been in with a few power punchers before, most notably Vladimir Klitschko, who floored him 4 times, and he got back up 4 times, and he came back fighting as hard as ever. Alexander Povetkin has got a proven solid chin. He's got an iron chin, I would say. He made it through them 12 rounds, and he kept on fighting hard. Deontay Wilder, is there question marks about his chin? Possibly. I mean, he looked hurt against Eric Molina, but he's never been knocked down himself either, so we'll see. I think if it goes to decision, Deontay Wilder with his massive reach and height advantage, with his quick, fast, sharp jab and staying on the outside, I think if it goes to decision, I think Deontay Wilder will win it. But I'm not saying Alexander Povetkin will not win it by decision. I mean, I personally think this is a 50-50 fight. It could go either way. But if I was going to have to bet money on it, and it was going to go to the decision, it would be Deontay Wilder. If I think this fight's going to end by a knockout, I think Alexander Povetkin, with that solid chin of his and that determination, and he punches hard himself. I mean, he doesn't punch as hard as Deontay Wilder, clearly, but he punches hard. If it's going to go to a knockout, I would have thought Alexander Povetkin would knock out Deontay Wilder. So if it goes to decision, I would think Deontay Wilder would get it, and it was going to end by knockout. But I think there's going to be a possibility of a knockout in this fight. I think Alexander Povetkin's got the chance of scoring that knockout. just like I say, I think this is a 50-50 fight. I think either of them can win. Alexander Povetkin has never been up against someone quite like Deontay Wilder before. Someone that's going to stay on the outside and going to try and keep the distance and just keep it up with a jab. I mean, Vladimir Klitschko didn't quite use the same tactics that I think Deontay Wilder is going to use. And Deontay Wilder has never fought a fighter in the same caliber as Alexander Povetkin. He's fought some good fighters. He's fought 2 top 10 heavyweights, but they've not been in the same category as Alexander Povetkin. I think Vladimir Klitschko's trainer, Emmanuel Stewart, he said Alexander Povetkin has the potential to be the next heavyweight champion. But now obviously that was before Vladimir Klitschko knocked him out. But that says a lot for Alexander Povetkin. If you look at Alexander Povetkin's record, the opponents he's fought, the fact Emmanuel Stewart thought he could be the next heavyweight champion, dominant heavyweight champion. I mean, he's powerful, he's determined, he keeps going forward, he wears down on his opponents, he's great, he's got good inside fighting, he's proven with all these gold medals he has, he was a WBA champion before. So Alexander Povetkin's going to be by far the hardest opponent Deontay Wilder's ever fought. So this is going to be a good fight. I mean, if Deontay Wilder managed to beat Alexander Povetkin, he's going to turn a lot of people into believers that he's going to be the next big heavyweight. And now, just like I say, I think this is going to be a 50-50 fight. Both of them have got the potential to win. I think if Alexander Povetkin is to win this fight, he's got to knock out Deontay Wilder. And I think if Deontay Wilder is going to win this fight, it's going to be by unanimous decision. So this is a 50-50 fight. If I was going to have to put down my money though, if someone put a gun to my head and said you've got to pick somebody for this fight, I'm sorry, but I would have to say I think Deontay Wilder was going to win this fight. But I'm actually cheering on Alexander Povetkin. That's who I want to win. I follow both of them, by the way, and I'm fans of both of them. But I want Alexander Povetkin to win this fight. But I'm expecting Deontay Wilder to pull off a close, unanimous decision.